G'day and welcome to another edition of Hef's Beer Reviews. Today I'm reviewing this beer here, Balter Black Lager. Comes in this 375ml can. 5.4% is the ABV. This was very kindly sent to me in a sensational beer mail that I received recently from Loz over at the Pub Crawl channel. I know many of you are familiar with his work. If you're not, make sure you pop on over and have a look. This is a dark rice lager. It's a limited release. I thought, well, why not actually compare it to this beer here? Monsuta Okinawa Dark Premium Lager. This one is a 350ml can. 5% is the ABV. I've never reviewed this one. I've actually never tried this one before, so interested to see also what this one is like. This one is brewed in Japan and it's imported into Australia. So let's start with the Balter. It's a limited release, as I said. Crack it on open, give it a pour into the schooner glass. I was having a chat online to a few of the boys earlier today, and Jez actually had a couple of schooners of this on tap. Said it was pretty good. All right. Didn't quite get it all in, but there we go. All right. Might as well crack them both, actually. Let's do that. We can do a proper comparison with the appearance and aroma before we go in for the taste. There is a noticeable colour difference. I can see that already. All right, didn't get all of that in either. Very active beer, as Swill and Grog would say, that Jez would say. All right, this one over here is the Balter. This is the Monsuta. Now, the Balter is very dark. There's only a touch of light getting through there at the bottom. It's not quite jet black, having said that. It's a really, really dark brown. Head is dissipating. The Monsuta, well, look at that. That's the lightest dark lager that I've ever seen. How would we describe that? It's brown. It's brown, a lightish brown, I'd say. Couple of fingers of beige head. Top her up. It's almost Coke in terms of colour. All right, aroma. Oh, lots of dark malt coming through there. Definitely some coffee. Touch of roast. The Monsuta. Struggling to get a whole lot actually out of this one. Almost more of a caramel type note coming through. Yeah, not as aromatic as the Balter. Let's go in for a taste. Cheers. Special cheers to you, Loz. Thank you again. Not only did he send through some beers, but also a couple of stubby holders and a sticker. Sensational. Here we go. Light to medium body. There's a little bit of bitterness there. It's quite a dry, crisp finish. It certainly fits the style. Some beautiful dark malts coming through in the flavour. Definite coffee note. It's hard to distinguish with that dry finish as well whether it's a roast note as distinct to the coffee and the perceived dryness and bitterness that can sometimes come from that coffee note. Nice beer. Nice beer. There's a little bit of just coming through now in the aftertaste, kind of a little bit of that. It's almost a savoury note with a touch of sweetness that you get from the rice sometimes. All right, cheers. A lot lighter. This is a lot lighter than Monsuta. Not as dry. Little bit of that rice note coming through as well. Not getting the coffee or the roast. So a bit sweeter. They're both easy drinking, both sessionable. This one reminds me a bit of Sapporo's dark lager. Kind of a bit more of a rounded flavour. There is a hint of caramel coming through. Yeah, not as crisp or dry in the finish as the Balter. It's probably not fair to do a price comparison per se, as I didn't buy this one myself, but I did have a little look online, and the Monsuta is a touch cheaper than the Balter. I must say, I think Balter does a pretty good job with most of their beers, actually, even post the sale. If you know, you know. I've talked about their cerveza, their Mexican lager, a couple of times. That's pretty good. I think it's called the Elvis Nitro Stout. That was a great beer. Even the XBA and the Easy Hazy, they're good beers too. So yeah, don't write off Balter just because they're no longer fully independent. All right, head's holding on nicely with the Monsuta, not so with the Balter. Very surprisingly different beers. Surprisingly different. Both better than Asahi Black, if you ever tried that. Yeah, I like them both. The Balter definitely is a more flavoursome, a more aromatic, not necessarily more complex, but it's got more depth to it. More body, a little bit more alcohol as well. If you like dark beers, then I think you'll definitely like the Balter Black Lager if you can get your hands on it. It's really nice. I'd give that one a 4 out of 5. The Monsuta, is nice as well. If you're not as much of a dark beer fan, then I think you'd probably find this more approachable. I think I prefer the Balter, but this is still pretty good. I'd give the Monsuta Okinawa Dark a 3.5 out of 5. Four for the Balter, 3.5 for the Monsuta. Both nice dark beers, both worth checking out. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time on Hef's Beer Reviews.